how to get more webinar attendees. If you're trying to get more people to actually show up to your webinar, I have done a lot of webinars. And what I'm gonna teach you in here is a few strategies you can use to get a lot more people to show up. These work in any industry and they're awesome for the internet. Let's dive in. Now, before I left my job, actually one of my jobs at ClickFunnels was to run an event at ClickFunnels called the FAT event, the Funnel Hackathon. The Funnel Hackathon, or FHAT, was a 3-day event where all I did was teach webinar script writing, webinar funnel strategy, and webinar lead gen and traffic strategy. So I did that for days. And it's literally 3 days, and I did it in place of Russell when he couldn't show up. And so I did it a lot. And after a little while, I was like, you know what? I want to go in and I want to learn how to do this webinar game on my own. And so I left my job. And I left my job. It was scary. It was a little bit risky, but I left my job. And the first webinar I ever did, I ran into an interesting problem. And you probably run into this as well. It might be the reason that you looked this video up. I did the webinar, made some money. It was great. The second week, I went out to my same list and I pitched it and I got more people on and more people bought. The third week, same thing. Fourth week, same thing. Fifth, really started slowing down. The 6th week really started slowing down. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't continue to pitch my list to watch my webinar. I'm burning them out. And so the big question started, how do I get people to come to my webinar when the webinar is really good, but I'm running out of leads. I'm running out of blood. I'm running out of a list to go to. And so that's why this video means so much to me personally. I had to go out and I had to solve this because otherwise you might have a really cool thing, but you might think that your offer is wrong when really you're exhausting your list. So with that, I'm gonna dive into a few strategies that you can use to continue to get fresh leads and fresh blood and fresh list, always seeing you're converting and you're working webinar. Now let's dive in. All right, now I wanna go through the first strategy here, which is the holy grail. If you can figure this out, this is like printing money, it's insane. Ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, any kind of ads. Ads are powerful because now all these algorithms and all these really cool platforms are finding people for me instead of me going out to them. The problem is I don't know how to run ads. I still don't know how to run ads. I don't like to run ads. That's not a game I want to go learn. But I knew I needed someone to do ads. So I was out of my job, again, about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I decided to start looking for an ads person. And it felt risky because I was like, man, what if this doesn't work? What if this person doesn't know what they're doing? So I really needed to vet the person. So this is what I did to find someone cool. I think you'll like this. The first thing I did is I went out to a Facebook group that was all about ads. Right? I wanted a person as psycho, insane, obsessed over ads as I am about offers and funnels and marketing. Does that make sense? Where can I find the person with the twitch in the eye over ads while I have the twitch in the eye over the other thing? And so I went to these Facebook groups where it's like really hardcore Facebook people, really hardcore Facebook ads people. These are the people that are like, did you see the most recent update? And they're reading all of the terms and conditions of Facebook. You know what I mean? They're like, they are in. Like, I want that person. And so what I did is I went to one of those groups and I just made a little post. And I said, hey, I'm looking for a long-term relationship with someone to do ads for my funnels, specifically a webinar funnel that I've got. If you're interested, I'm very serious about this, please send a 3-minute video telling me why you're the best fit. You will not believe how much of a filter that alone is. Okay, I got probably 50 people who sent a video and another 50 who were like, could I just like send you a post instead? Could I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell you right now, please keep me in mind, but I'm not gonna send a video to you. And I was like, I'm gonna send you money that's mine. If you can't handle that simple instruction, there is not a chance I'm even gonna consider you. It's amazing how much of a filter that was. So I started watching all the videos and I whittled it down to 3. And I was like, based on how well they could communicate, based on how well I thought they knew their craft, I whittled it down to 3 people. And I went to the 3 people and I put them in a contest. I said, I'm gonna give you each a $500 budget. And the person who can send the most converting traffic to this page, which will track, you're gonna get the job. I was like, you're gonna fight for the job. Okay, I never had to do it. Just because it was a contest, one person backed down. Okay, the other person asked so many questions of things that I should not need to know about. Stuff that's like, it was lots of technobabble. Lots of technobabble, and I was like, this is your job to know that. I don't know that. Like, I don't need to know Facebook as well as you. Just do the thing. I never even had to end up doing it because of basically everyone bowed out, and I was left with the last awesome person. She was awesome. And what we started doing was I put $1 in advertising, and I would get beginning anywhere from $8 to $10 back out every week. So I put $1,000 in, and I would get $8,000 to $10,000 back out, which is really ridiculous ROAS, or return on ad spend, by the way. That's so high. $1 in, 8 to 10 back out. And then it kind of normalized out to $1 in, 3 to 5 out, but that's still really killing it. And so that's how we did it. And so if you're like, man, ads are hard, I get it, but you also can solve the problem. And the way you solve the problem is by finding the who that knows the how. And I'm gonna go do that by vetting out all these people and putting them into a contest. That was a great method. Now, in doing that, I had to turn my webinar into a live and automated webinar. And so that's what I did. And I started working with her. Her name, she's awesome. And I went in and started working with her, and she ran my ads for, I'd say, about 1.5 years and crossed past $1 million with her. Webinar attendee getting strategy number 2. JVs and affiliates, guys. JVs and affiliates are awesome, but it's different than you probably have done. When I was working at ClickFunnels, we created a program called Affiliate Bootcamp. And I asked Russell why. I was like, why would you go create a free program called Affiliate Bootcamp? He said, Steven, look what I just did. Every single one of my examples, I'm using my own products. So all I did was it's a free affiliate program. All I did was I trained all of these people to come in and learn how to promote my own products. I created my own affiliate army, and I was like, that's genius. I'm going to use that later. So we did. And I created a program called Affiliate Outrage. And Affiliate Outrage was a 30-day program where it was a small lesson for 30 days. And all I did was every single one of my examples was using one of my own products. That just meant I literally created my own affiliate army. And so that's what we did, is we put out this affiliate training, we got all these people in, and I'll tell you that by the time that product, that webinar, the same one, crossed $1 million, 200 grand of it had come through affiliate sales from the affiliates. That's awesome. It means they were out getting traffic, they were out promoting. So then the business changed. Instead of me going out trying to get all this traffic, the name of the game for me was supporting the affiliate. So we would reach out and I would say, hey, affiliates, how can I help you? They'd be like, oh man, Steven, you know what? If I could, I'm running a podcast right now, and I would love to be able to talk about your program, which I'm promoting for you. And I was like, yeah, you're doing a great job. They're like, can I please interview you on my podcast? I'd be like, sure, right? And so I just started doing all the tops affiliates I got on all of their podcasts and promoted to their link. And they created blog posts, and they created videos and review sites, and they created stuff around their affiliate link. And the name of the game changed for me, where I started supporting the affiliate. That was a huge hack to the game. Along those same lines, the other thing we did is we wrote out a list of all the big people that we wanted to talk about our product with. We're like, hey, let's go do a big promotional collaboration with this person. So we went out and I sent 5 packages to, I think, 90 people. And these 5 packages, each one of them were a little bit weird and lumpy. And I just wrote a letter. And I said, hey, big person, I just want to say thank you to you one day in person. And thank you because legends like you kept me going when times were rough. I'd like to be able to talk to you at some point about the product we've got. Could be a great fit, maybe isn't. That's totally fine. We'll see you in the next package. Like, what? And then the next package, I would tell literally the webinar script, the first story. And I told the first story, and then the next story, and the next story. We never even finished the sequence. I still have all the stuff in my office, okay? Because it was so impactful that I had 67 of like the 90 reach back out. It's crazy. That got us that course into a lot of really big worlds very, very quickly with a lot of big influencers. Before I show you one of the easiest ways to get a lot of sales with your course, I want you to subscribe. In the comments down below, please let me know what it is that you have done in the past to get a lot of traffic to your webinars. It's one of the biggest questions our world asks, especially on the internet. Traffic, 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 traffic. What are some of your favorite traffic getting methods? There's literally an infinite number of strategies to do it. Let me know your favorite one down below. Please hit the like button or the non-like if you're hating this and you think my eyeballs are too big. I agree, I'm with you on that, okay? But whatever it is, please let me know what you're thinking about this video and it's been impactful for you. Hit the subscribe button and the bell because we toss these videos out every weekday. Number 3, I want to show you guys real quick easy ways to use your script now that it's working. This was one of the most shocking case studies I've ever been involved with. I had been working for Russell for about 1 year, and I got this message from him on the phone, and he was like, dude, what if I did the webinar for ClickFunnels to the people who've already bought ClickFunnels? And I was like, that makes no sense. They already have it, right? And we both were like, huh? But I can't remember where he got the idea from. We decided to do it anyway. And it was this was psycho, okay? He made $600,000 selling ClickFunnels to the people who'd already bought ClickFunnels. That shouldn't make sense. The reason why it worked is because there was a year, a lot of their memberships were starting to end. And he's like, hey, if you buy this, I'll extend your membership out a year. But it was a principle we started using in other places. Selling people the same thing that they bought, to the same people who bought it, feels like that shouldn't work. It does. It's actually a common move in the e-commerce and supplement space, by the way, as well. But even if you're doing a webinar, one of the best things you can do is, after a while, wait a little bit of time, and you can use that script on your existing buyers again, or say, bring your friend along, or hey, did you like what you've learned in there? Come bring some relationships, or come bring a business partner on, and now you're selling somebody else who has a friend who's already in it. That made the sale a lot easier, and it's actually became a really that became a mastermind trick as well. Some people in masterminds in the inner circle started just pitching again their buyers list, the same thing that they bought, really fast. It doesn't sound like it should work, but that's worked quite well actually. One of the other ways to use your webinar script is literally to just repurpose it. Think about it this way. People shouldn't have to just opt into a webinar to hear the script. So some ways we would start to use the script is we would drip it out over voicemail drops, where we would drip it out over an email sequence. Same script, different delivery method. Right, think about this. You right now watching, listening to this, do you like webinars? Some of you probably do, some of you probably don't. I'm kind of impartial, but that doesn't mean that I can only sell with a webinar. Take the same script and drip it out and change the consumption of the script. That's one of the greatest ways to accelerate sales for a webinar. All right, so we take the script. One of the ways I like to do this is at events. So I'll take the script and I'll go to an event and I'll say, hey, can I speak at your event? Can I pitch? I'll split whatever I make with you. All right, now I'm using somebody else's audience. Or I'll go to my own audience and throw a live event, and instead of doing it on a webinar, I'm using the same exact process, but I'm doing it live, and I will pitch in front of my own audience, which is super helpful. I got a free gift here for you. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. It is responsible for literally every dollar I've ever made. Okay, the formula on there is it is responsible for every dollar I've ever made. In fact, the 2 times that I've not followed it are the 2 times my products have done the worst. I'm excited for you to see it. It is free. It's internetlaunchsecrets.com. It's in the description and in the first comment below. And again, it is every dollar I've ever made. I've made $10 million in the last 3.5 years with this, and it's due to this process. And it is very much along the lines of webinars. You're gonna love it, and it's free for you to go and enjoy.